Siberia. Here the first light of day creeps across a boundless tundra, painting the snow in delicate hues of pink and gold. Frost-laden trees stand as silent sentinels, their branches sparkling with ice crystals that catch the dawn's gentle glow. The Siberian wilderness unfolds in an unbroken expanse, where ancient taiga forests merge seamlessly with the snowfields. Each tree, cloaked in white, forms part of a vast, living mosaic that stretches beyond the horizon, untouched and immense. Blizzards descend without warning, their icy breath sculpting the land anew. Snow is whipped into towering drifts, forests vanish behind swirling veils, and the wind's mournful howl is the only sound in a world locked in perpetual winter. Every branch is sheathed in a crystalline armor, glistening beneath a sky heavy with snow. The air is thick with frozen mist, and the ground lies buried beneath layers of ancient ice, each stratum a record of winters past. Yet, even in this forbidding realm, life endures. Elk, foxes, and hares traverse the snow, their movements deliberate and measured, each step a calculated response to the relentless cold and the scarcity of food. The musk ox and Arctic fox leave their mark in the powder, their tracks a silent chronicle of survival. Every indentation in the snow tells a story of resilience, of creatures shaped by the demands of this icy wilderness. In the shadowed forest, the Siberian taiga moves with spectral grace. Its massive paws leave barely a trace, and its striped coat blends perfectly with the dappled light and snow, making it a phantom in the frozen woods. Across the open plain, a wolf pack advances in disciplined formation. Their breath steams in the frigid air, and their haunting howls ripple through the silence, a chorus that binds the pack together across the vast emptiness. Reindeer surge forward in great herds, their antlers dusted with frost. They press on through blinding snowstorms, muscles straining as they carve new trails across the tundra, driven by instinct and the promise of distant grazing grounds. Eyes gleam with unwavering determination, amber, gold, and ice blue, each gaze reflecting the will to survive. Fur bristles against the wind, and every heartbeat is a quiet defiance against the cold's relentless assault. Thick pelts shield against the biting air, while sharp senses and cunning strategies unfold in the snow. Packs and herds rely on intricate social bonds, each member playing a role in the collective struggle for warmth and sustenance. When the sun's warmth briefly returns, the land stirs to life. Herbivores graze on the sparse, hardy vegetation, and predators seize the fleeting opportunity to replenish their strength before the cold reclaims the land. The seasons turn in dramatic cycles. Time-lapse reveals the landscape's transformation, from the hush of deep winter to the frenetic burst of summer activity, each species adapting with remarkable precision to the shifting demands of survival. The taiga stretches in endless ranks of larch and pine, their needles dusted with snow. Rivers snake through the valleys, their surfaces locked beneath thick ice, while mountains rise in the distance, their peaks crowned in perpetual white. Icy rivers carve deep channels through the wilderness, their waters flowing beneath a frozen crust. Mountain ranges loom, their slopes a tapestry of snow and evergreen, standing as ancient guardians over the land. Predator and prey engage in a perpetual contest, each movement dictated by the harsh realities of the season. Every chase, every escape, is a testament to the delicate balance that governs life here. The snow melts and refreezes in endless cycles, etching patterns into the land. Each thaw and freeze marks the passage of time, shaping the terrain and the lives that depend on it. Beneath the snow's surface, a hidden world thrives. Insects burrow through the subnivean layer, fungi break down organic matter, and small mammals forage in secret tunnels, sustaining the ecosystem from below. The brown bear, a giant of the forest, lumbers through the snow, its body built for both hibernation and endurance. Nearby, a woodpecker hammers at frozen bark, extracting insects hidden deep within the wood. In this frozen theatre, every animal plays a vital role. From the smallest rodent to the apex predator, each interaction weaves a complex web that sustains the wilderness through the harshest months. The camera soars above untouched forests, revealing a landscape sculpted by ice and time. Valleys, rivers, and forests stretch in every direction, their pristine beauty unmarred by human presence. The journey crosses sweeping valleys and dense forests, where sudden storms descend with ferocity. Snow swirls in blinding sheets, reshaping the land in moments and testing the endurance of every creature that calls this place home. Elusive predators, armor, leopards, lynx, and sable, move with silent precision through their domains. Each is a master of stealth, perfectly adapted to the challenges of their icy world. Adaptations are revealed in every gesture: a hare digging for hidden roots, a weasel vanishing into the snow, a ptarmigan's plumage blending seamlessly with the landscape. Each behavior is a finely tuned response to the demands of survival. But the Siberian realm is not immune to change. Melting permafrost and shrinking ice threaten the delicate balance, forcing animals to confront new challenges as their ancient world transforms. Vulnerable species navigate a shifting landscape, their future uncertain. The wilderness, once a fortress of stability, now faces the unpredictable consequences of a warming world. As the sun dips below the horizon, the Siberian wilderness glows with a final burst of color. It stands as both sanctuary and crucible, a testament to the enduring power, intricate beauty, and profound vulnerability of nature's coldest domain. Siberia's geography stretches across the northern reaches of the world, a colossal expanse where ancient glaciers and ceaseless winds have sculpted a land of breathtaking diversity. Here, the landscape is a living mosaic, each region blending into the next, yet each retaining its own distinct character. At the heart of this wilderness lies the Taiga, a vast boreal forest that dominates the Siberian interior. Towering evergreens, pine, fir, and larch form an unbroken canopy, their needles glistening with frost, creating a dense emerald sea that stretches beyond the horizon. This immense woodland, spanning from the rugged Ural Mountains in the west to the distant Pacific shores in the east, is one of the largest living ecosystems on Earth. Beneath its sheltering branches, a hidden world thrives. Countless species find refuge in the dappled light and thick undergrowth. As winter tightens its grip, the taiga is transformed. Snowfall cloaks the forest in silence, muffling every sound. The evergreens stand motionless, their branches heavy with ice, while the air itself seems to crystallize, turning the forest into a realm of shimmering frost and deep tranquility. Beneath this serene surface, a network of animal trails weaves through the snow. Tracks of lynx, sable, and elk crisscross the forest floor, each imprint a silent testament to the struggle for survival. These secretive paths reveal the hidden lives of creatures adapted to the cold and darkness. Gradually the dense woodland recedes, the trees thin, giving way to open country, where the land flattens into sweeping icy plains and frozen wetlands. Here the sky expands, vast and unbroken, casting a pale light over the endless snowfields. On these exposed plains, the elements reign supreme. Blizzards sweep across the open ground, sculpting snowdrifts and erasing all traces of the past. Each storm reshapes the landscape, creating a world in constant flux where survival depends on adaptation to the ever-changing environment. Without the protection of trees, the wind sweeps unimpeded across the plains. Snow is driven into hard-packed crusts, and the cold becomes a relentless adversary. Only the most resilient animals can endure these conditions, braving the biting wind and the stark, treeless expanse. Yet these icy plains are essential for reindeer. Each year, vast herds migrate across the tundra, their hooves specially adapted to dig through the frozen crust in search of lichen hidden beneath the snow. Their journey is a testament to endurance and instinct, following ancient routes across the frozen wilderness. Rivers, locked in ice for much of the year, become natural highways. Herds and predators alike traverse these frozen corridors, their tracks etched into the snow. Wolves follow the migrations, their keen senses attuned to the faintest sign of prey moving across the ice. Rising abruptly from the plains, the Altai and Saka mountain ranges form formidable barriers. Their jagged peaks, perpetually cloaked in snow and ice, loom over the landscape, casting long shadows across the valleys and foothills below. Within these mountains, deep valleys and sheer cliffs create isolated pockets of wilderness. Here, the climate and terrain shift dramatically over short distances, fostering unique habitats where only the most specialized species can survive. In these high-altitude refuges, rare and elusive animals have evolved remarkable adaptations. Their thick fur and powerful limbs allow them to thrive in the thin air and extreme cold, far above the reach of the forests below. Snow leopards and Siberian mountain goats move with astonishing agility across the steep, icy slopes. Their bodies are built for balance and endurance, allowing them to navigate a world of vertical stone and snow, where every step is a test of survival. Every ledge and outcrop becomes a vital foothold, supporting a delicate balance of predator and prey. In these inhospitable heights, life clings to the rock, each animal perfectly attuned to its perilous home. Far to the east, the Kamchatka Peninsula rises from the frozen earth, its volcanic peaks crowned with snow. Here, fire and ice coexist, shaping a landscape of dramatic contrasts and raw natural power. In Kamchatka's brief summer, rivers surge with salmon, drawing brown bears and raptors to feast. The frenzy of life is short-lived, a burst of activity before the inevitable return of winter's grip. Across Siberia, shifting weather and geological forces continually reshape the land. Storms, earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions forge new habitats, demanding constant adaptation from every creature that calls this wilderness home. From the shadowed depths of the Taiga to the windswept plains and volcanic summits, each transition in this immense wilderness presents new challenges. Here, survival is a story of resilience, ingenuity, and the relentless drive of life to endure against all odds. In the heart of Siberia, winter is not merely a season, it is a relentless adversary, shaping the fate of every animal that calls this vast, snow-laden wilderness home. For 6 months, the land is transformed into a world of extremes, where survival is a daily battle against the elements. The first snows arrive early, blanketing the taiga in silence. As the days shorten, the cold deepens, and the landscape is locked in a frozen embrace that will not loosen until the distant promise of spring. The sun, a pale disk, barely crests the horizon, casting long shadows and offering little warmth. Temperatures plummet to -40 degrees Celsius and beyond, testing the limits of endurance for every living creature. Rivers, once teeming with life, freeze solid, becoming silent highways of ice. The ground hardens into an impenetrable shield, roots and burrows sealed beneath layers of frost. For the animals of Siberia, this is the ultimate test. Each heartbeat, each breath is a calculation. Energy must be conserved, every movement weighed against the risk of exposure and exhaustion. Blizzards sweep across the forests and plains, reducing visibility to nothing and burying the world beneath fresh drifts. The wind howls, stripping away precious body heat and forcing animals to seek shelter wherever they can. Even the largest animals, like moose and wild boar, are slowed by the deep, powdery snow. Each step is a struggle, muscles burning as they push forward, searching for food and safety. Beneath the snow, life is hidden. Foxes and small mammals dig tirelessly, seeking out the faintest scent of prey or the last remnants of vegetation. The search for food is unending, as most plants lie dormant and prey is scarce. The cold is a constant threat, sapping energy reserves and forcing animals to huddle together, or burrow deep for warmth. Every breath crystallizes in the air, a visible reminder of the struggle to retain heat. Storms can last for days, erasing all tracks and isolating animals from one another. The snow piles higher, and the world becomes a labyrinth of white, where every step is a risk. Only those with the most specialized adaptations can persist. Dense fur, layered feathers, and unique physiological traits are the difference between life and death. The Arctic fox, lynx, and owl are masters of insulation. Their coats and plumage trap heat, allowing them to endure the coldest nights and the fiercest winds. The Arctic fox, in particular, is a marvel of adaptation. Its fur is so thick and efficient that it can curl up on the open tundra, sleeping soundly while temperatures plunge far below freezing. Some, like the brown bear, take a different path. As the cold intensifies, they retreat underground, entering a deep hibernation, their bodies slow, conserving energy as they wait for the world above to thaw. When spring finally arrives, these bears emerge, lean but alive, ready to reclaim their territory and begin the cycle anew. For those who remain active, like wolves and deer, every day is a contest of endurance. Packs move silently through the snow, senses alert, each hunt a test of skill and stamina. The land itself is unpredictable. Avalanches thunder down mountain slopes, reshaping the terrain in moments and posing sudden danger to all who dwell nearby. Across the frozen plains, the ancient struggle between predator and prey continues. Deer cross open expanses, wary of lurking wolves and foxes, each step a calculated risk. Hunters must track elusive quarry over vast barren ground, while grazers tirelessly scrape away snow, searching for the smallest patch of edible growth. Every decision is critical. Energy spent must be repaid with food, or the balance tips toward exhaustion and defeat. In this frozen crucible, only the most resilient, those perfectly attuned to the demands of the Siberian winter, will endure, standing strong to witness the sun's triumphant return and the rebirth of the land. In the vast frost-bitten expanse of Siberia, a silent contest unfolds each day and night. Here, apex predators reign supreme, their existence shaped by the merciless cold and the endless struggle for survival. Each species has developed a distinct set of skills, perfectly tuned to the challenges of this formidable wilderness. These masters of the hunt, Siberian tigers, wolves, and snow leopards, are paragons of adaptation, their bodies and minds sculpted by millennia of evolution to conquer the Siberian winter. The Siberian tiger, largest of all wild cats, moves with a deliberate grace through the snow-laden forest. Its amber eyes scan the white silence, every muscle poised for action, every step calculated to conserve precious energy. Towering above the undergrowth, the tiger's immense frame is both a weapon and a shield. Its thick fur insulates against the biting wind, while powerful limbs propel it through drifts and tangled brush. Each padded paw lands with ghostly silence, muffling the crunch of snow. The tiger's passage is marked only by faint, solitary tracks, evidence of a predator that prefers to remain unseen. Its striped coat, a masterpiece of camouflage, fractures its outline among the birch and pine, allowing the tiger to vanish into the interplay of shadow and frost. Patient and methodical, the tiger lowers its body, using every dip and rise in the terrain to mask its approach. It waits, sometimes for hours, for the perfect moment to strike. Its quarry, sika deer and wild boar, move cautiously through the forest, but the tiger's keen senses detect the slightest sign of weakness or separation from the herd. When the opportunity arises, the tiger explodes from cover in a blur of orange and black, closing the distance in seconds. Its jaws clamp down with lethal precision, ending the chase in a heartbeat. In the depths of winter, prey becomes scarce. The tiger must roam vast territories, sometimes traveling over 100 kilometers in a single week, driven by hunger and instinct. The relentless search for food tests the tiger's endurance. Lean and determined, it faces the elements alone, a solitary figure against the endless white. In stark contrast, the Siberian wolf thrives through unity. Packs form tight social bonds, each member playing a vital role in the survival of the group. Across the open plains, wolves fan out, their coordinated movements a testament to their intelligence and teamwork. They read each other's intentions with a glance, adjusting their positions to encircle their prey. Some wolves drive the herd forward, while others anticipate escape routes, blocking every possible avenue. The hunt is a symphony of strategy and instinct. As the circle tightens, the pack moves with fluid precision, each wolf responding to subtle cues, their unity transforming them into a single, formidable force. Communication is constant. Howls echo across the frozen landscape, relaying position and intent. Within the pack, body language and scent maintain order and cohesion. Wolves excel at endurance hunting, pursuing reindeer and moose for miles across deep snow, their stamina unmatched in the animal kingdom. They exploit the heavy drifts, knowing that their prey tires quickly in the deep powder, while the wolves' lighter frames keep them moving swiftly. The relentless chase wears down even the strongest animal. When exhaustion sets in, the pack closes in, targeting the most vulnerable points with surgical precision. Through cooperation, wolves bring down prey many times their own size, ensuring the survival of the entire pack through the harshest months. After the hunt, the spoils are shared. Even the youngest pups and the oldest members receive their share, reinforcing the bonds that hold the pack together. High above the forests and plains, the snow leopard rules the remote mountain ranges. Here the air is thin, the slopes treacherous, and survival demands a different set of skills. The snow leopard, rarely glimpsed by any eye, is a phantom of the peaks. Its solitary existence is defined by stealth and agility, moving with effortless grace across sheer cliffs. Navigating the labyrinth of the Altai Mountains, the snow leopard uses every rock and ledge to its advantage, approaching prey from above, unseen and unheard. Its dense, spotted coat is both armor and disguise, trapping warmth and rendering the cat nearly invisible against the mottled stone and snow. Motionless among the boulders, the snow leopard waits with infinite patience, every muscle coiled for the split-second opportunity. Its broad, fur-lined paws act as natural snowshoes, distributing weight and preventing it from sinking. The long, thick tail provides perfect balance on the narrowest ledges. With astonishing agility, the snow leopard leaps across chasms and scales vertical faces, covering distances up to 15 meters in a single bound. Its preferred prey, mountain goats and ibex, are equally sure-footed, but the snow leopard's ambush from above gives it the edge on these perilous slopes. In a flash, the snow leopard launches itself downward, relying on surprise and pinpoint accuracy to secure its meal on the unforgiving cliffs. On the open steppe, the steppe eagle commands the skies. From its high vantage, it surveys the endless white, searching for the faintest sign of movement. With wings spanning over 2 meters, the eagle glides effortlessly, riding thermals and covering vast distances with minimal effort. Its vision is unmatched, detecting the twitch of a hair or the scurry of a rodent far below, even against the dazzling snow. When prey is spotted, the eagle folds its wings and plunges earthward, striking with talons strong enough to subdue hares, foxes, and even young ungulates. The eagle's diet shifts with the seasons, adapting to the changing abundance of prey. Along the thawing rivers, the brown bear emerges, demonstrating a different kind of mastery. With acute senses and formidable claws, the bear stands in icy currents, plucking salmon from the water with astonishing speed and accuracy. Each of these predators has evolved a unique arsenal of techniques, perfectly attuned to their environment and the prey they pursue. Their hunting strategies are the invisible threads that weave together the Siberian ecosystem, regulating populations and ensuring the survival of countless other species. In this land of extremes, these apex predators are the ultimate survivors, embodying the raw power, intelligence, and adaptability required to endure and thrive in one of the planet's most unforgiving realms. In the boundless, frost-bitten wilderness of Siberia, survival is a daily battle waged against the elements. Here, the land stretches endlessly, blanketed in snow and ice, where only the most adaptable creatures endure. Each animal, whether it journeys across continents or remains steadfast in its chosen territory, is shaped by the relentless demands of this formidable environment. Their existence is a symphony of instinct, physical prowess, and evolutionary ingenuity, all finely tuned to the rhythm of Siberia's extremes. Among the legendary travelers of the north, reindeer are unrivaled. These tireless wanderers are the lifeblood of the tundra, their migrations a spectacle of endurance and unity. As winter deepens and the sun barely grazes the horizon, immense herds surge forward, traversing hundreds of kilometers over frozen rivers and windswept plains. Their synchronized movement, a living current, is guided by ancient memory, roots etched into their very being by generations past. Beneath the snow's icy crust, reindeer uncover their sustenance, lichen, a resilient plant that clings to life in the harshest conditions. With broad, shovel-shaped hooves, they dig through deep drifts, their keen sense of smell guiding them to this hidden treasure. This remarkable adaptation ensures their survival when all else is buried beneath winter's grip. The journey is fraught with peril. Treacherous river crossings test their strength and resolve, while icy winds whip across the open tundra. Predators, ever watchful, shadow the herds, wolves, masters of endurance themselves, waiting for a moment of weakness. Yet the migration is essential, allowing reindeer to exploit fleeting resources scattered across the vast wilderness. While some animals traverse immense distances, others remain rooted, braving the Siberian winter with unwavering fortitude. These resilient residents have evolved extraordinary defenses, each uniquely suited to their chosen niche. The Siberian mountain goat is a master of survival in the most forbidding terrain, where sheer cliffs rise above the snowfields and icy winds howl. These goats thrive, their bodies built for endurance and agility. With powerful limbs and specialized hooves, mountain goats ascend near vertical slopes, finding sanctuary on narrow ledges inaccessible to predators. Here they graze on sparse vegetation, their sure-footedness a marvel of adaptation. Their thick, layered coats insulate them from the biting cold, trapping precious warmth even as blizzards sweep the highlands. Each strand of fur is a barrier against the relentless wind, a testament to nature's ingenuity. Sustenance is scarce, yet these goats persist, foraging on windswept ridges where snow is thin and hardy shrubs cling to life. Every mouthful is a victory, earned through persistence and skill. Among the smaller inhabitants, the Arctic fox is a paragon of adaptability. Its life is a delicate balance, dictated by the ebb and flow of the seasons. The Arctic fox's coat transforms with the landscape, brilliant white in winter, rendering it invisible against the snow, then shifting to earthy browns and greys as the tundra awakens in spring. This camouflage is its shield, a silent guardian against predators and prey alike. During the brief summer abundance, the fox caches food beneath the snow, creating a network of hidden reserves. These stores are meticulously placed, each one a lifeline for the lean months ahead. When winter tightens its grip and prey becomes scarce, the fox returns to these caches, retrieving sustenance from beneath the frozen surface, a strategy that ensures its survival through the darkest days. Ever opportunistic, the Arctic fox also scavenges the remains left by larger predators. Nothing is wasted in this unforgiving land. Every scrap of nourishment is vital. The skies and forests of Siberia are alive with birds, each species equipped with its own arsenal of adaptations. Their presence brings movement and color to the monochrome landscape. The Siberian grouse, cloaked in dense plumage and with legs sheathed in down, is a marvel of insulation. Its feathers trap air, creating a barrier against the most severe frosts. In the coldest nights, these birds gather in flocks, burrowing into soft snow to create insulated chambers. Here, they are shielded from predators and buffered from the biting wind. Their communal warmth a key to survival. The great spotted woodpecker, meanwhile, is a specialist in resourcefulness. With its powerful beak, it excavates insect larvae from beneath the bark of trees, tapping into a food source hidden from the cold and inaccessible to most. Across this immense frozen wilderness, every animal, whether it migrates across continents or endures in steadfast solitude, demonstrates a unique mastery of survival. Their lives are woven into the fabric of Siberia, each species a living testament to the power of adaptation, resilience, and the unyielding will to endure in a world sculpted by ice, wind, and time. In the immense interlaced wilds of Siberia, the landscape is a living mosaic. Rivers snake through dense forests, wetlands shimmer beneath the sky, and every element is bound together by the subtle influence of its inhabitants. Among these, the Siberian beaver emerges as a silent engineer, orchestrating profound changes that ripple through the ecosystem, shaping the destiny of countless species. The Siberian beaver, robust and industrious, is a keystone species whose daily routines leave a legacy written across the land. Its thick fur and powerful tail are perfectly adapted for the frigid waters and dense undergrowth, while its sharp incisors are tools of transformation, capable of felling even the sturdiest trees. With methodical precision, beavers select and harvest timber, gnawing through trunks and dragging branches to the water's edge. Each log and twig is chosen for a purpose, contributing to the construction of dams that will alter the very flow of rivers and streams. These dams, crafted from a blend of wood, mud, and stone, are marvels of animal engineering. They interrupt the relentless current, transforming swift, narrow streams into expansive ponds and wetlands where water lingers and spreads, breathing new life into the landscape. Over time, the beaver's handiwork reshapes the terrain. What was once a simple waterway becomes a thriving basin, its edges teeming with emergent vegetation, and its depths sheltering a multitude of aquatic creatures. The wetlands that arise from these dams are lush and vibrant, their saturated soils nurturing a tapestry of reeds, sedges, and mosses. Here the air is thick with the hum of insects and the gentle rustle of leaves, signaling a surge in biodiversity. In these tranquil waters, fish glide through submerged roots, while frogs and aquatic insects proliferate in the safety of the marsh. Each species finds its niche, their populations flourishing in the beaver's carefully curated environment. The abundance of food and shelter draws birds from far and wide. Cranes, ducks, and waders descend upon the wetlands, their calls echoing across the water as they forage and nest among the reeds, raising new generations in the sanctuary the beaver has built. Along the pond's edge, otters and muskrats slip through the shallows, their movements weaving new stories into the fabric of the wetland. These mammals exploit the rich resources, establishing territories and contributing to the dynamic balance of the ecosystem. The beaver dam is more than a barrier, it is a living filter. As water passes through, silt and organic debris are trapped, leaving only clear, purified water to continue downstream. This natural filtration system enhances water quality for all who depend on the river's flow. By moderating the movement of water, beaver dams shield the land from the extremes of Siberian weather. During heavy rains, they absorb and slow the surge, preventing floods. In times of drought, they retain precious moisture, sustaining the surrounding forest and meadow. At the heart of each pond rises the beaver's lodge, a fortress of interwoven sticks and mud, its thick walls a bulwark against the Siberian winter. The lodge stands as both home and refuge, its design a testament to the beaver's ingenuity. Ingeniously, the entrance to the lodge lies hidden beneath the water's surface. Even as ice seals the pond above, the beaver family moves freely below, safe from predators and the biting cold. Inside, a chamber lined with shredded wood and grasses remains dry and insulated. Here, the beaver family huddles together, sharing warmth and security as winter rages outside. As the days shorten and the air chills, beavers prepare for the long freeze. They gather branches and saplings, anchoring them underwater near the lodge, a submerged pantry that will sustain them when the world above is locked in ice. Beneath the frozen surface, these caches remain accessible. The beavers feed on bark and twigs throughout the winter, their survival assured by foresight and careful planning. The influence of the beavers' work radiates outward, nourishing the forest that encircles the pond. Here, a dynamic transition unfolds. Wetland blends into woodland, and the boundaries between habitats blur, fostering even greater diversity. Elevated groundwater levels encourage the growth of willows, alders and birches, their roots binding the soil and their leaves forming a vibrant green border along the water's edge. This lush fringe provides food and shelter for a host of creatures. Where beavers have felled trees, sunlight spills onto the forest floor, awakening a flush of shrubs and saplings. These young plants attract deer, elk and hares, who browse on the tender shoots, weaving new threads into the food web. Through their tireless efforts, beavers set in motion a cascade of ecological benefits. Their presence forges vital connections between water, land and life, sustaining a delicate equilibrium. In the Siberian wilderness, the beaver's legacy is written not just in wood and water, but in the thriving abundance of all who share this remarkable landscape. As the iron grasp of winter loosens, Siberia awakens to a transformation both dramatic and fleeting. The land, once a monochrome expanse of snow and silence, now flourishes with a mosaic of vibrant greens, delicate wildflowers, and the shimmering movement of life. Summer's arrival is not merely a change in temperature, it is a profound rebirth, a surge of energy that sweeps across the taiga and tundra. In a matter of weeks, the landscape is utterly transformed. Shoots of grass and ferns pierce the thawing earth, racing skyward in the endless daylight. The sun, now a constant companion, lingers above the horizon, fueling a relentless surge of photosynthesis and growth. The last vestiges of ice and snow dissolve beneath the sun's persistent gaze. Rivers, once imprisoned by thick ice, break free, their waters swelling with the melt and carving new channels through the awakening land. Torrents of meltwater surge through valleys and forests, nourishing the soil and replenishing wetlands. These rivers become lifelines, their currents carrying nutrients and life to every corner of the wilderness. The taiga, dormant for months, now bursts into a lush emerald canopy. Grasses and mosses blanket the plains, while birch and larch trees unfurl new leaves, creating a dense, living tapestry that stretches to the horizon. Across this revitalized landscape, animals emerge from hiding and hibernation. Sable and ermine dart through the undergrowth, while elk and moose graze voraciously, replenishing reserves lost to the long winter. Brown bears, lean from months of fasting, wade into rushing rivers, expertly snatching salmon from the foaming water. Herds of Siberian deer traverse the meadows, their coats sleek and glossy in the summer sun. Sika deer and mountain goats exploit the abundance of tender shoots and leaves, their movements cautious yet purposeful. Meadows become gathering grounds where herbivores graze in peace, ever watchful for lurking predators. Insects, dormant or hidden through the freeze, now emerge in staggering numbers. Dragonflies skim the surface of ponds, while clouds of mosquitoes and midges rise above the wetlands, providing a feast for swallows, bats and shrews. The air fills with the calls of migratory birds. Siberian cranes, elegant and stately, return to ancestral marshes, their wings casting fleeting shadows over the water as they select nesting sites and begin elaborate courtship displays. The forest floor teems with activity. Red squirrels leap between branches, gathering seeds and fungi, while foxes patrol the edges of clearings, alert to every movement and sound. The chorus of life is unceasing. Warblers and thrushes fill the air with song, while the hum of insects and the rustle of small mammals create a symphony unique to this brief, exuberant season. Everywhere, new life abounds. Mothers shepherd their young through the undergrowth. Elk calves take their first tentative steps, while fox kits tumble and play in the dappled sunlight. For these newborns, every moment is a lesson in survival. Under the watchful eyes of their parents, they learn to forage, to hide, and to navigate the complexities of their wild home. High in the craggy mountains, snow leopard cubs shadow their mother across treacherous slopes. Each step hones their agility, each hunt a vital lesson in patience and precision. In the dense forests, brown bear cubs mimic their mother's every move, learning to fish in swift rivers and to seek out berries hidden beneath the foliage. Along tranquil ponds, beaver kits assist in the construction of sturdy dams, their small paws shaping the waterways that will shelter them through the seasons ahead. The success of these young, whether predator or prey, will determine the fate of their species. Each family's efforts are a testament to the urgency and hope that define this season. But time in Siberia is unforgiving. The sun's arc, once high and unyielding, begins its slow descent, casting longer shadows across the land. Even as the meadows glow with life, subtle signs of change appear. Distant peaks retain their snowy crowns, and a cool mist drifts through the valleys at dusk, hinting at the return of cold. Daylight, once seemingly endless, now wanes. The evenings grow longer, and a gentle chill settles over the land, a quiet reminder that this abundance is only temporary. Instinct drives every creature to urgency. Bears gorge on salmon and berries, deer graze with renewed intensity, and rodents cache seeds and roots, each preparing for the scarcity to come. The Siberian summer, though measured in mere weeks, is a spectacle of resilience and adaptation. Every plant and animal is finely tuned to seize this fleeting opportunity, their lives a testament to the power of renewal. As the sun bathes the land in golden light, Siberia's wild inhabitants thrive in a world transformed. This season of renewal is both a celebration of life's tenacity and a vital preparation for the long, silent winter that inevitably follows. Siberia's wilderness, a realm of staggering scale and haunting beauty, stretches unbroken across the northern reaches of the world. Here, the taiga and tundra form a living tapestry, ancient forests, frozen rivers, and endless plains all woven together in a delicate equilibrium. This land, seemingly immutable, is in truth a fragile sanctuary, its fate now hanging in the balance as unprecedented forces converge. The most profound threat is the relentless march of climate change, which seeps into every corner of this wilderness. Winters grow shorter, and the ancient cadence of freeze and thaw is disrupted, reshaping the very foundation of life here. Temperatures in Siberia are rising at nearly twice the global average. Once frozen ground buckles and sinks, as permafrost, icebound for millennia, softens and gives way, transforming the landscape into a patchwork of instability. The permafrost, a hidden vault of ancient ice and organic matter, is now fracturing. Cracks open in the earth, and the ground sags, altering the terrain and exposing new surfaces to the elements. As the permafrost thaws, vast reserves of methane and carbon dioxide are released, fueling a cycle of warming that accelerates the transformation. Trees, once anchored in solid ground, now lean precariously or topple, their roots unable to find purchase in the softening earth. These upheavals ripple through the ecosystem. Wildlife, finely attuned to the rhythms of cold and snow, now faces a world where the rules have changed. Bears awaken before the land is ready to feed them, and herds wander across treacherous, shifting ground. Reindeer, birds, and countless other species now contend with erratic weather and unpredictable snow cover. Their migrations and breeding cycles, once synchronized with the seasons, are thrown into disarray, leaving them vulnerable and disoriented. The Arctic fox, once perfectly camouflaged in winter's white, now stands exposed on bare ground, its survival threatened by predators and the loss of its seasonal advantage. Plant blooms and insect emergencies, once precisely timed to animal migrations, now occur out of sync. Herds and flocks arrive to find the nourishment they depend on already gone or not yet available, weakening them at critical moments. The Siberian grouse, the elusive lynx and the snow leopard, all adapted to specific habitats, find their territories shrinking and fragmenting. As forests recede and mountains warm, these animals are forced into ever smaller refuges. Even the structure of the forest itself is changing. Ancient trees fall, and new growth struggles to take hold in unstable soil. Rivers, once bound by frozen banks, now meander unpredictably, reshaping the land and the habitats it supports. Wetlands expand into areas once dominated by forest, creating new habitats but also displacing those that cannot adapt. Amphibians thrive in the new pools, but the balance is precarious and many species struggle to adjust. The taiga is further fragmented by clearings, isolating populations of animals such as the Siberian tiger and the wolf. Genetic diversity dwindles as once connected groups are separated by barren stretches. Waterways, too, are transformed. Rivers run lower and wetlands dry, leaving aquatic life to compete for dwindling resources. Beavers and otters, architects of these habitats, must adapt or move on. Apex predators, tiger, snow leopard, wolverine, become ever rarer, their presence a fleeting shadow in the vastness. Each loss reverberates through the food web, altering the balance of life. As untouched forests shrink, animals are pushed to the margins, where resources are scarce and competition fierce. The boundaries between wilderness and emptiness blur, and survival becomes a daily struggle. The combined weight of these pressures places Siberia's most iconic species in jeopardy. Their numbers dwindle, and with each loss the wilderness grows quieter, its intricate web of life unraveling thread by thread. The Siberian tiger, a symbol of wild majesty, clings to survival in shrinking reserves. Each step it takes is a testament to resilience, but its future is shadowed by uncertainty as prey grows scarce and territory contracts. The snow leopard, master of the high peaks, now finds its mountain kingdom shrinking. Warming temperatures and vanishing prey threaten its survival, forcing it to roam farther in search of sustenance. The Siberian crane, dependent on vast, unspoiled wetlands, finds its breeding grounds shrinking year by year. Each season, fewer safe havens remain, and the haunting calls of these birds grow rarer in the thinning air. Should these species vanish, the silence left behind would echo through the wilderness. The intricate relationships that have shaped Siberia for millennia would unravel, leaving only emptiness where life once flourished. A stark reminder of what is at stake in this fragile, threatened realm. In the vast, untamed reaches of Siberia, life persists in a world sculpted by ice and wind. Here, every animal is a master of survival, each step a careful calculation in a land where the rules are written by the seasons and the elements. The elusive snow leopard, a phantom among the crags, glides silently along the mountain ridges. Its thick fur ripples in the biting wind, paws barely leaving a trace on the powdery snow, as it surveys the endless expanse for the faintest sign of movement. Across the tundra, herds of reindeer surge forward, their hooves drumming a steady rhythm into the frozen earth. Their migration is a living river flowing across the white silence, shaping the land as much as it is shaped by it. The snowy owl, regal and alert, perches atop a frost-laden branch. Its golden eyes pierce the pale horizon, scanning for the slightest twitch beneath the snow, a sentinel of patience and precision. Winter's fury descends in blizzards that sweep the land, sculpting drifts and testing the endurance of every creature. Here, survival is a daily trial, earned through resilience and instinct. The wilderness stretches unbroken, a living mosaic of forest, river, and tundra, where each animal has carved out its own rhythm in harmony with the land's ancient pulse. In the shadow of ancient trees, generations of animals pass, their stories etched into the bark and whispered through the canopy. Each family, each lineage, is a thread in the tapestry of Siberia's wild legacy. Crystal-clear rivers wind through the wilderness, their icy waters nourishing all who come to drink. Along their banks, wary creatures gather, drawn together by the promise of life. Predator and prey share the same frozen world, their fates intertwined in a delicate balance. Each encounter is a lesson in adaptation, a testament to the ingenuity of life. In the icy streams, beavers labor tirelessly, transforming the landscape with their dams. Beneath the frozen surface, new sanctuaries emerge, offering shelter and hope for the next generation. Apex predators, wolves and tigers, move with silent authority, their presence shaping the health and order of the ecosystem. Each step they take reverberates through the food chain, maintaining the balance of life. In this realm, every life is connected. From the smallest insect to the mightiest mammal, invisible threads bind them in a web of mutual dependence. The fate of a beetle beneath the moss is inseparable from the future of the elk that roams above, each playing a role in the intricate dance of survival. Forests and wetlands breathe life into Siberia, filtering water, anchoring soil, and providing sanctuary for countless species of birds and mammals. The complexity of Siberia's ecosystems mirrors the intricacy of the world itself, each organism essential, every connection vital to the whole. Every blossom, every fluttering wing, every silent footfall adds to the harmony of this wild domain, composing a symphony of life that resonates through the ages. The wild heart of Siberia beats in the hush of dawn and the roar of the storm, undiminished by time, unbroken by adversity. Yet, the land is changing. Ice melts, forests thin, and wetlands recede as the climate shifts, threatening the delicate balance that has endured for millennia. The contrast between thriving and fading habitats grows sharper, each season revealing new scars upon the landscape. Permafrost softens, ancient cycles falter, and the once predictable rhythm of the seasons blurs, leaving wildlife to navigate an uncertain future. Only by preserving healthy landscapes where forests stand tall and streams run clear can we restore and maintain the balance that sustains all life here. Protected habitats offer vital refuge, giving wildlife the space to recover, adapt, and thrive in a world of constant change. Vast tracts of untouched wilderness remain, their silence a promise of renewal and hope if left undisturbed by outside forces. Where the wild meets the edge of change, vigilance is essential. The loss of even a single habitat can unravel the fabric of this irreplaceable world. As the sun rises over the frost-bound land, the promise of Siberia endures in every living form, each animal a guardian of the wild heart. The resilience of Siberia's inhabitants is remarkable but not limitless. Their strength is a response to adversity, not an armor against loss. Each determined ascent up a snowy slope, each cautious emergence from winter shelter is a testament to the will to survive and the hope for another season. Siberia's landscapes, vast, raw, and breathtaking, hold a significance that transcends borders, offering sanctuary to life in its purest form. This wilderness is a reservoir of life, a sanctuary for countless species, a realm where continuity is preserved in every untouched valley and forest. From above, the wilds of Siberia form a vital link in the planet's living tapestry, connecting ecosystems across continents. The chorus of wolves, the purposeful stride of elk, the silent passage of the snow leopard. These are the voices of a land that endures, echoing through the ages. May the howl of the wolf continue to resonate across the frozen plains, a symbol of wildness, undiminished by silence. May the Siberian tiger's passage through the taiga remain unbroken, its kingdom secure beneath the ancient trees, a living emblem of endurance. Let the wild heart of Siberia beat on, strong and unyielding, as dawn breaks over the endless forest and mist rises from the earth. For as long as life endures here, the spirit of Siberia remains, untamed, enduring and vital to the world, a call to protect what is wild and irreplaceable. Beneath Siberia's relentless crust of ice and stone, a hidden universe flourishes, one that escapes the gaze of even the most attentive observer. As the tundra stretches endlessly, swept by biting winds and rivers sealed in crystalline armor, the surface appears lifeless, yet below, a vibrant microcosm pulses with energy and resilience. Within a mere pinch of permafrost, millions of microorganisms, bacteria, archaea, algae, rotifers, nematodes and protists, persist, each uniquely engineered to endure the extremes of cold and scarcity. Bacteria, shielded by intricate sheaths, slip into a dormant trance, their metabolic processes slow to a near halt, conserving energy until the world above hints at warmth. In this frozen vault they linger in anticipation, poised to awaken at the first sign of thaw, ready to resume their ancient cycles. Nearby, archaea, true survivors of deep time, extract sustenance from minerals, thriving in utter darkness. Their metabolic pathways, unchanged for eons, echo the primordial origins of life on Earth. Algae, suspended in the translucent embrace of lake ice, capture the faintest blue rays that penetrate the frozen surface, transforming light into the first links of the food chain. With each photon, these microscopic plants manufacture sugars, fueling the ecosystem from its most fundamental level, even as the world above lies dormant. Rotifers, the wheel-bearers of the microcosm, curl into protective spheres, their bodies sealed tight against the ravages of cold and drought. When the ice relents, they unfurl, their cilia whirling in the meltwater, drawing in nutrients and reanimating the silent soil. Nematodes, slender and agile, weave through the labyrinth of sand and ice, their movements almost imperceptible yet vital to the soil's health. Their bodies are infused with antifreeze proteins, a natural adaptation that prevents lethal ice crystals from forming within, allowing them to remain active even as temperatures plummet. In stagnant pools beneath the snow, single-celled protists drift, their membranes constantly adjusting to shifts in salinity and temperature, ensuring survival in a world of flux. Each of these microscopic beings is a catalyst, breaking down minerals and organic debris, transforming inert matter into nutrients that will one day nourish the roots of the tundra. As the sun climbs higher and the soil softens, their populations surge. Microbial life awakens the earth, preparing it for the return of plants and animals that depend on this invisible foundation. In this intricate web, every organism plays a role: decomposers, recyclers, and pioneers, each contributing to the resilience of Siberia's wilderness. Even the smallest spark of movement, a single microorganism stirring in the ice, signals the persistence of life against overwhelming odds. Their tireless, unseen labor sustains the cycles of decomposition and renewal, ensuring that even in the harshest cold, the promise of life endures, woven into the very soil of Siberia, where the most profound stories are written not in grand gestures, but in the silent, ceaseless work of the invisible architects of survival. Above the endless whiteness, wings carve silent paths through frigid air, each beat a testament to survival in a world sculpted by ice and wind. The Siberian sky, vast and unforgiving, becomes a stage for avian endurance, where every flight is a battle against the relentless winter gusts. Siberian birds, each feathered form a marvel of adaptation, face the frozen expanse with strategies honed over millennia. Their bodies are engineered for efficiency, feathers layered for insulation, and instincts sharpened by the demands of the coldest season. In the shadow of snow-laden pines, the Siberian jay flits with quiet urgency. Its muted plumage is a masterstroke of camouflage, blending seamlessly with frostbitten branches to evade predators and conserve precious energy. Throughout autumn, the jay becomes a tireless gatherer, caching seeds and berries in hidden crevices. Each morsel is meticulously stored, memory sharpened by necessity, ensuring a secret pantry when the world is locked beneath snow and ice. As the landscape stiffens with cold, these hidden reserves become lifelines. The jay's keen recall leads it to buried treasures, sustaining life when the forest offers little but silence and frost. On the open tundra, the snowy owl reigns supreme. Its immaculate white plumage is both shield and sword, rendering it nearly invisible to both prey and rival hunters in the endless expanse of snow. Dense layers of down trap warmth close to the body, while feathered talons insulate against the biting chill. Every anatomical detail is a defense against the elements, allowing the owl to wait motionless for hours. With piercing golden eyes, the snowy owl scans the moonlit plains, detecting the faintest movement beneath the snow. Its vision, adapted for the dim Arctic twilight, turns the night into an opportunity for silent pursuit. Each hunt is a calculated risk, a delicate balance between energy spent and nourishment gained. A single successful strike can mean survival for days, while failure demands patience and persistence in the face of scarcity. In the brittle air, flocks of bohemian waxwings swirl in synchronized flight, their movements choreographed by instinct and necessity. Their soft trills ripple through the silence, a living current above the frozen ground. These nomads traverse vast distances, drawn by the promise of berries clinging to frozen branches. Their journey is a relentless search for sustenance, guided by memory and the subtle cues of the landscape. In the communal warmth of the flock, waxwings share vigilance and heat. Huddled together through the coldest nights, they form a living shield against the wind, each bird lending strength to its neighbor. High in the canopy, the great spotted woodpecker hammers at bark frozen hard as stone. Its rhythmic tapping echoes through the forest, a relentless search for life hidden beneath the surface. The woodpecker's powerful beak and shock-absorbing skull unlock pockets of overwintering insects, precious protein concealed within the frozen wood. Each strike is calculated, each meal a reward for persistence. Even the diminutive willow tit, light as a snowflake, endures by excavating tiny roosting holes. Sealing itself in with a layer of moss and feathers, it traps the faintest trace of warmth, creating a sanctuary against the night's deep freeze. Across this theater of ice and wind, each bird is an artist of adaptation. From the smallest tit to the formidable owl, every species sculpts survival from scarcity. Their lives a mosaic of ingenuity and endurance. Their songs pierce the hush of winter, weaving through the silent forest. Each call is a declaration of persistence, a signal that life endures even when the sun's warmth is only a distant memory. Here, flight is more than movement. It is a daily act of resilience, a thread that binds the seasons. Against the winter wind, Siberia's birds rise, their wings carrying the promise of survival into the dawn. Beneath Siberia's relentless winter, rivers and lakes lie locked in silence, their surfaces sealed by thick, crystalline ice. Yet, beneath this frozen armor, these waterways remain the lifeblood of the wilderness, quietly sustaining a world unseen. The glassy veneer above belies the activity below. In the dim, frigid waters, life persists, adapted to darkness, cold, and scarcity. Here, the struggle for survival is waged in near silence, illuminated only by faint shafts of sunlight filtering through the ice. Oxygen-rich currents slip beneath the ice, carrying vital breath to a hidden community. Fish glide slowly, conserving energy, their movements measured and deliberate. Amphibians and invertebrates nestle in the silt, enduring the long freeze in suspended animation. The Siberian sturgeon, a relic of ancient times, drifts through the shadowed depths. Its armored body and slow metabolism are perfectly suited for the icy gloom, allowing it to outlast the harshest months. In secluded coves, northern pike and perch hover motionless, their bodies suspended in the cold water. They wait, patient and still, for the promise of spring's return. Along the river's edge, otters slip effortlessly between snow and water. Their dense, waterproof fur glistens as they dive beneath the ice, hunting for fish in the labyrinth below, leaving only ripples and scattered droplets in their wake. Muskrats carve secret passageways beneath the ice, their movements stirring the riverbed. As they forage, they awaken dormant seeds and roots, setting the stage for the explosion of life that will follow the thaw. Even in the coldest depths, microscopic plankton drift in the faint light, forming the foundation of the aquatic food web. Their presence sustains countless creatures, from tiny invertebrates to the largest fish. As the sun climbs higher, the grip of winter loosens, the ice softens, cracks, and finally yields to the warmth, signaling the arrival of spring. With a thunderous roar, the ice fractures and shatters. Torrents of meltwater surge downstream, flooding the plains, replenishing wetlands and sculpting new channels through the landscape. Nutrient-rich waters spill across the land, awakening dormant plants. Green shoots pierce the melting snow, racing to capture the returning light. Migratory birds, drawn by the abundance, descend in vibrant flocks. Their calls fill the air as they gather along the newly thawed shores, feeding and nesting in the revitalized wetlands. Frogs emerge from their muddy refuges, their voices rising in chorus across the flooded grasslands, signaling the renewal of life. Through every season, rivers and lakes remain the arteries of Siberia, linking forests, tundra and wetlands, sustaining a vast web of life. Here, water is not merely a resource, but the silent architect of survival, shaping the destinies of all creatures that call the frozen north their home. Beneath the silent, snow-laden pines of Siberia, a hidden world pulses with life, defying the icy grip of winter. Within the frozen crevices of the forest floor, where the earth is locked in frost, countless insects embark on a relentless struggle for survival. From the armored Siberian beetle, inching across the snow's surface, to the nearly invisible springtail, each species has honed unique adaptations to outlast the cold. The snow flea, for example, leaps across the icy crust, its body laced with proteins that prevent freezing, allowing it to remain active when most life is dormant. These cold-adapted arthropods have evolved a suite of survival tactics, from antifreeze proteins to specialized exoskeletons that shield them from lethal temperatures. Many enter diapause, a state of suspended animation, where metabolic activity slows to a near halt, conserving precious energy through the long, dark months. Their bodily fluids become infused with natural antifreeze compounds, such as glycerol, which lower the freezing point and prevent the formation of deadly ice crystals within their tissues. Under the microscope, their cells remain miraculously intact, even as the world around them succumbs to the cold. The Siberian woolly bear caterpillar stands as a marvel of endurance, surviving multiple winters by freezing solid, only to thaw and resume life with the return of warmth. For years it cycles between frozen dormancy and brief bursts of summer activity, inching closer to maturity with each thaw. When the snow recedes, these caterpillars feed voraciously, storing energy for the next long freeze. As temperatures plummet, they retreat into dormancy once more, their patience and resilience sculpted by the relentless Siberian climate. Other insects burrow deep beneath the insulating snowpack, carving out tunnels where the temperature remains just above lethal. Here, in this subnivean world, life persists in a delicate balance, shielded from the harshest cold by a blanket of snow. Springtails and midges thrive in these hidden spaces, feeding on decaying plant matter and fungal threads, quietly sustaining the forest's nutrient cycle. Their tireless work recycles nutrients, enriching the soil and laying the groundwork for the explosive growth that follows the thaw. As the first rays of spring sunlight melt the snow, a dramatic transformation sweeps the landscape. Insects emerge in synchronized waves, their life cycles precisely timed to exploit the fleeting abundance of Siberia's short summer. For a few brief weeks, the meadows and wetlands teem with activity, as countless species race to feed, mate, and reproduce before the cold returns. Swarms of mosquitoes and blackflies rise in astonishing numbers, filling the air above marshes and ponds. These swarms become a vital food source for birds and amphibians, fueling a burst of life that echoes through the ecosystem. Camouflaged against bark and leaf litter, tiny predators and scavengers play their part, each species a thread in the intricate web of Siberian life. Pollinators visit wildflowers, decomposers break down organic matter, and prey species sustain a host of larger animals, all working in silent concert. The diversity and ingenuity of these insects underpin the resilience of Siberia's ecosystems, ensuring that life endures even in the most extreme conditions. In the vast, unforgiving wilderness, where survival is a daily challenge, it is often the smallest creatures that possess the most remarkable adaptations. Through innovation and resilience, Siberia's insects have mastered the art of survival, proving that in nature's harshest realms, the tiniest titans often hold the greatest secrets. Across the immense Siberian expanse, the seasons dictate a relentless, silent contest for survival among the plants anchored in this formidable wilderness. Here, every shift in temperature, every hour of daylight, and every breath of wind shapes the fate of the flora. As winter deepens, ancient larches and resilient birches stand in stoic silence, their lifeblood slowed to a near halt. Their branches, stripped of leaves, reach skyward, skeletal silhouettes etched against a pale, frozen sky, enduring months of biting cold and darkness. Beneath the snow's icy armor, a hidden world persists. Dormant buds and seeds, encased in frost and insulated by thick snowpack, cling to life in suspended animation, shielded from the lethal chill above, waiting for the faintest hint of warmth. With the first subtle lengthening of daylight, the land stirs. Sunlight, weak but persistent, begins to creep across the snow, signaling the slow retreat of winter's grasp. The permafrost, locked in icy rigidity for months, begins to yield at the surface. Melting ice seeps into the soil, softening the earth and awakening the world below. Moisture trickles downward, coaxing roots from their winter dormancy. Deep beneath the surface, a network of roots and rhizomes stirs, sensing the promise of renewal. Mosses and lichens, the earliest pioneers, emerge first. Their muted greens and silvery greys spread across the thawing ground, absorbing every available ray of sunlight and drop of meltwater. These resilient organisms thrive where others cannot, harnessing the reflected sunlight from receding snow and drawing sustenance from the brief surge of moisture. As the snow withdraws, wildflowers erupt in a sudden vibrant display. Arctic poppies and Siberian irises unfurl delicate petals, transforming the tundra into a tapestry of colour. Dwarf rhododendrons join the race, their blossoms opening in a fleeting celebration of warmth, each flower a testament to the urgency of the season. Vivid petals beckon pollinators, while shallow roots rapidly absorb nutrients from the newly thawed soil, exploiting the narrow window of fertility before the cold returns. In the taiga, conifers respond to the surge of light and warmth by pushing out fresh needles. Whole forests shift from somber grey to vibrant green in a matter of days, signaling the arrival of summer. Summer's brief abundance unleashes a frenzy of growth. Plants stretch skyward, leaves unfurl, and the landscape pulses with life, each species racing to complete its cycle. Grasses ripple across the tundra, their slender blades bending to the wind, capturing sunlight and storing energy for the lean months ahead. Around the edges of thawed wetlands, sedges form dense emerald carpets, stabilizing the soil and providing shelter for emerging life. Berry shrubs, heavy with fruit, dot the wilderness. Their ripening bounty sustains birds and mammals, each berry a vital link in the food web. Even at the height of growth, the spectre of frost is never far. Icy crystals can form overnight, threatening tender shoots and hastening the end of the growing season. Plants respond with urgency, compressing an entire year's life cycle into a handful of weeks. Growth, flowering, and seed setting unfold in rapid succession, each stage a race against the inevitable return of cold. As autumn approaches, the landscape transforms once more. Forests and meadows ignite in gold, crimson and amber, a final blaze of color before the world quiets. Leaves drift to the forest floor, decomposing and enriching the soil. Underground, roots and bulbs hoard energy, preparing for the long, dark months ahead. The land exhales, shrouded in mist and silence, as it braces for winter's return. Every plant, every root, every seed prepares for the coming trial. Through each relentless transformation, Siberia's flora survives not by resisting the elements, but by adapting, flexible, ingenious, and enduring. In this land of extremes, survival is a matter of exquisite timing, quiet fortitude, and the profound connection between earth and sky. A silent struggle, endlessly renewed with each season's change. In the heart of Siberia, where winter's grip can seem absolute, a select few cold-blooded creatures have mastered the art of survival. Amphibians and reptiles, often overlooked, employ some of the most extraordinary adaptations in the animal kingdom to endure the extremes. As the first snows fall and temperatures plummet, the Siberian salamander seeks refuge beneath layers of leaf litter and moss, burrowing deep into the insulating earth. Here, in the sub-Nevian world, it enters a state of suspended animation. Its body fluids transform, becoming laced with natural antifreeze compounds. Ice crystals form harmlessly between its cells, while vital organs remain protected. Months may pass in this frozen slumber, the salamander's heartbeat slowing to a near imperceptible pulse, awaiting the distant promise of spring. Elsewhere, the nimble, viviparous lizard finds sanctuary beneath fallen logs and within rocky crevices. Unlike its warm-blooded neighbors, it cannot generate internal heat. Instead, it relies on the Earth's residual warmth, slowing its metabolism to a crawl. Throughout the long darkness, it survives on stored reserves, neither eating nor moving, its body temperature matching the icy earth around it. When the thaw arrives, these silent survivors reawaken. The salamander emerges first, its movements sluggish as it absorbs the gentle warmth of the sun-dappled forest floor. In shallow pools left by melting snow, it resumes its aquatic life, seeking out mates and laying eggs in the fleeting window of spring. Tadpoles must grow quickly, racing to complete their transformation before the water vanishes or the frost returns. The lizard, too, returns to the sun, basking on stones warmed by the brief Siberian summer. It feeds with urgency, devouring insects and spiders, replenishing the fat stores that will see it through another winter. Each day is a delicate balance, soaking up heat, avoiding predators, and making the most of every precious hour of warmth. For these cold-blooded denizens, survival in Siberia is a relentless negotiation with the elements. Their lives unfold in slow motion, dictated by temperature, sunlight, and the rhythms of the land. Through remarkable biochemical and behavioral strategies, amphibians and reptiles write their own quiet story of endurance, hidden beneath the snow, within the soil, and among the stones, proving that even in the harshest climates, life persists in the most unexpected forms. Beneath the dense carpets of moss and the shadowy understory of Siberia's forests lies a world rarely seen, yet vital to all life above ground, the kingdom of fungi. These silent engineers are more than mere decomposers. They are the unseen threads weaving the fabric of the wild. As the camera glides close to the forest floor, clusters of vibrant mushrooms, scarlet, gold, and earthy brown, emerge from rotting logs and leaf litter. Each cap and stem is a fleeting fruit, the visible tip of an immense underground network. Mycelium, a vast web of microscopic filaments, stretches for miles beneath the soil, invisible yet indispensable. This living network connects tree roots, shrubs, and even distant plants, forming what scientists call the wood wide web. Through these fungal highways, nutrients and chemical signals flow, redistributing life-sustaining minerals from decomposing wood and leaf matter back into the ecosystem. In the harsh Siberian climate, fungi perform feats of resilience. Some species thrive in the cold, breaking down organic debris even as frost lingers. Others form symbiotic partnerships with taiga pines and birches, enveloping their roots and exchanging minerals for sugars, a quiet collaboration that strengthens the entire forest against drought, disease, and cold. Time-lapse visuals reveal the astonishing growth of mycelium, threading its way through decaying leaves, enveloping fallen branches, and transforming death into new life. In autumn, the forest erupts with mushrooms, a brief spectacle before the freeze returns. These fruiting bodies release billions of spores, drifting on frigid air currents, ensuring the next generation will awaken when spring returns. Zooming in, the camera unveils the intricate patterns of fungal spores, the delicate structure of gills and pores, and the slow decay of a once mighty tree, now a banquet for countless organisms, all enabled by fungi's relentless work. Without these tireless recyclers, Siberia's forests would choke under centuries of fallen wood. Instead, nutrients are returned to the soil, fueling new growth and sustaining the great cycles of life. In the silence beneath the snow and the shade, fungi persist, ancient, essential, and largely unseen, the quiet architects of Siberia's enduring wilderness. If you look closer still, beneath the arching pines and birches of Siberia, you'll discover a living tapestry, one that softens stone, cloaks branches, and carpets the forest floor in a perpetual green. This is the realm of mosses and lichens, nature's quiet pioneers and patient survivors. The camera glides across a velvet expanse of moss, each tiny stem standing upright like a miniature forest. Droplets of dew shimmer on their leaves, refracting morning light in 1,000 directions. These ancient plants are some of the first to colonize bare rock and soil, their rhizoids anchoring them to stone and bark in places where little else can grow. In the taiga, mosses retain precious moisture, acting as a living sponge that buffers the land against both drought and deluge. Their tangled mats insulate the soil, protecting delicate roots below from the biting cold above. Shifting focus, the lens reveals the intricate patterns of lichens, pale green, ash grey, and sunburst yellow, sprawling across boulders and tree trunks. Lichens are not a single organism, but a partnership, a symbiosis between fungi and algae, or sometimes cyanobacteria. Together they form a resilient alliance, drawing nutrients from sunlight, air, and even the faintest trace of moisture. In the Siberian wilderness, lichens survive where few others can, enduring extremes of temperature, aridity, and exposure. The camera lingers on a reindeer nibbling at a crust of lichen, a vital food source in the depths of winter. Without these hardy growths, many animals would struggle to survive the long, barren months. Close-ups reveal how mosses and lichens stabilize soil, slow erosion, and create microhabitats for insects, amphibians, and even the seeds of future forests. As the seasons change, the vibrant greens of moss and the subtle hues of lichen persist, enduring beneath snow and frost. When the thaw finally comes, they are among the first to stir, releasing stored moisture and nutrients back into the awakening landscape. In Siberia's vast and unforgiving wilds, mosses and lichens are more than mere decoration. They are the emerald veil and the living crust, quietly shaping the land, supporting life, and reminding us that even the smallest forms can have the greatest impact. Beneath the mosses, lichens, and tangled roots of Siberia lies a world few ever see, a vast expanse of ancient frozen earth known as permafrost. For millennia, this subterranean realm has remained locked in ice, preserving the secrets of ages past and anchoring the entire ecosystem above. But now, as the climate warms, this giant begins to stir. The camera sweeps across a panoramic landscape, rolling tundra, pockmarked by dark, water-filled depressions where once solid ground has collapsed. Slow-motion footage reveals the subtle but relentless melting of the permafrost, as ice within the soil liquefies and the land sags and buckles. Rivers meander unpredictably, their banks eroding into muddy torrents, while vast tracts of taiga forest tilt at odd angles, trees leaning and falling as their frozen foundation gives way. Close-ups capture the transformation in exquisite detail. Patches of bare earth steam in the chill air, releasing plumes of methane and carbon dioxide. Greenhouse gases long trapped in the permafrost, now escaping to accelerate global warming. The ground, once firm and unyielding, becomes a shifting mosaic of mud, water, and decaying organic matter. The narrative shifts to the wildlife. A lone Arctic fox traverses a landscape now riddled with unstable ground, its den flooded by meltwater. Herds of reindeer struggle to cross boggy terrain, their migration routes disrupted by sudden wetlands where dry tundra once stretched unbroken. Burrows of small mammals collapse, exposing them to predators and the elements. Even the ancient mosses and lichens, so well adapted to cold and stability, begin to suffer as their microhabitats transform. Aerial shots reveal shimmering lakes, thermokarst pools, growing year by year, altering the entire hydrology of the region. As permafrost thaws, nutrients once locked away are released in a sudden rush, fueling algal blooms and changing the delicate balance of freshwater ecosystems. Fish and amphibians must adapt or perish as water chemistry shifts. Throughout it all, the silent retreat of the permafrost is relentless. In a final poignant sequence, the camera lingers on a patch of exposed mammoth bone, newly unearthed by the thaw, a reminder that the past is never truly buried, and that the future of Siberia's wild heart hangs in a delicate balance. The permafrost, once the unyielding bedrock of this wilderness, is now a fragile threshold, its fate and that of all who depend on it intertwined in the warming world. As the sun dips below the horizon, Siberia is transformed. A vast, silent world emerges, one where darkness reigns and only the most resilient survive. In this twilight realm, the true masters of adaptation begin their nightly rituals. The camera glides low over moonlit snowfields, where the faintest prints betray silent footsteps. A sable, cloaked in a coat of dense, chocolate-brown fur, weaves through the underbrush. Its eyes, gleaming with heightened sensitivity, catch the faintest flickers of movement. These nocturnal hunters possess specialized retinas, layers of rod cells that gather every stray photon, allowing them to see where others would stumble blind. Beneath the snow, a field vole scurries through a labyrinth of tunnels insulated from the biting cold. Here, the subnivean zone, an airy gap between earth and snow, becomes a lifeline. In this world of perpetual dusk, sharp whiskers sense vibrations in the dark, and tiny hearts beat double time against the chill. The camera pans to a lynx, its ghostly form nearly invisible in the blue-black night. Large, tufted ears swivel independently, triangulating the faintest rustle of prey. Each step is silent, cushioned by broad, fur-covered paws that distribute weight and muffle sound. In this frozen theater, the lynx's patience is legendary, waiting, listening, then striking with lightning precision. Above, the northern owl glides silently between skeletal branches. Its disc-shaped face funnels the slightest sound, an evolutionary marvel that transforms the night into a tapestry of audible clues. With wings designed for noiseless flight, it swoops down upon an unsuspecting shrew, talons extended. Some, like the Siberian flying squirrel, embrace the darkness with acrobatic grace. Launching from tree to tree, their membranous flanks catch the cold night air, transforming them into living kites. Under the pale shimmer of starlight, their world is one of silent leaps and careful landings. Even insects find ways to endure. Winter moths, covered in scales that trap the tiniest warmth, flutter briefly in search of mates, their movements timed to the short, windless hours before dawn. Throughout the night the land pulses with hidden life. Each creature, predator and prey, wields a unique arsenal against the double challenge of darkness and cold. As dawn approaches, the nocturnal world recedes, leaving only faint traces in the snow. But with each sunset, the dance begins anew, an ancient cycle perfectly tuned to the Siberian wilderness.